Hello guys and welcome to the top 5 football clubs that I hate. Before we get into this, it's worth noting that the word hate is a strong word, but it's a better title than the top 5 clubs that I really dislike a bit, but not too much, because with the good comes the bad and the bad comes the good. These football clubs have good aspects about them and there's things that I don't like, and this is my experiences with these clubs, so take all my opinions with a pinch of salt and don't be coming at my house with pitchforks and don't be coming at me with pitchforks because I don't like your club as much as I like other clubs. Number 1, you might be able to guess it, it's Porto. It's a joke, alright, it's not Porto, there's some spoilers there. It's Leeds. Banter. Also at the end of this video there's going to be a little Q&A, as I wanted to do a Q&A today, but also I'm more creative than a fish, so there's going to be more than just a Q&A. Not saying, if you're a fish and you're watching this, sorry to offend you, I'm sure you might be too creative. Shave out the 2-second memory, which is a myth. This channel is about football and we're not, just get into it. Number 5, interesting choice, Forest Green Rovers. It's purely because of the owner. This was between Billericay and Forest Green, but for every down part of Glenn Tamplin, he has also done a lot for the Billericay community, took into homeless people who then mugged him off, but still, he tries to help out 2 people and he's done a lot for the community. So yeah, you can't really fault him for that. So number 5 is Forest Green because the owner is trying to put his own vision on the club. He's a very arrogant tit. He has a lot of opinions on stuff which are wrong. He thought Forest Green would be in League 1 easily. He thought they'd walk League 2 and they've been humbled, which is great to see. I do like Keanu Marsh-Brown, I think he's a good footballer, but also wanting to build a fully wooden football stadium. What? You're telling me that no is going to set it on fire? Forest Green might not be the home of many but I also live in Norfolk and there's more than you'd think. So yeah, Forest Green, someone will set your pitch on fire. And to be fair, if you're going to be vegan, at least accommodate to people who eat meat, because I tell you what, Barry from Chelmsford is not happy at all about having to go all the way to Forest Green and eat vegan pie. Just serve a pie, lads. Just throw some steak in it. It's not going to harm you. Just because you're vegan doesn't mean anyone else can be. I'm not going to tell a vegan they have to eat meat. So yeah, is there? No, I mean they can get a packet of crisps at a non-vegan stadium. So was that an awful point? Hit number 4 is Norwich City. Right, hear me out. 1, I grew up with Leeds being worse than Norwich. In the same league, Leeds were top of the league for a lot of the season, Norwich still won the league. Norwich fans are very negative. I don't like the negativity that the fan base brings. Anyone in Norfolk, don't really know, and people from Norfolk, England are watching this, knows that Norwich City, after a game, if you listen to Canary Call, is the most hilariously negative thing you'll ever hear. Norwich will win and there'll still be negativity. It's a negative fan base which has wrong opinions on where they should be. They're a small club and I think that they're too optimistic. But if I've got a lot of Norwich fans that I like. I'm friends with a few Norwich fans as well. So, and my best mate plays for Norwich. One of my best mates plays for Norwich. Also the fact they released me when I was 11 for being too small. I mean, 11 years old I was too small. I mean, what, or was it 12? It was one of the two. Hadn't hit puberty yet. Still haven't. In number 3 is MK Dons, who originally were 5 in this list because I'm not a huge... they're not Wimbledon. It annoys me that they inherited Wimbledon's history. It annoys me that their stadium's soulless, but also MK Dons have done a lot of good things. There's a new generation of fans coming through in that area now, which have become MK Dons fans, and them fans growing up now, if you're under the age of say 15 or 16, 20, or then to be fair, under the age of 20 really, you've grown up with MK Dons as your childhood club, then that's completely fine. They've done nothing wrong. If it's your local club and you've grown up with them as your team and you're watching this, and I don't disagree with you at all. I don't like the Wimbledon fans that then carried over to MK Dons. I know it's not the majority of them, or maybe the vast majority of them, but a lot of people did do that. And they've inherited the spine of a club which was once there, and it's just not the same. And once again, this is the worst stadium I've been to in terms of the home fans atmosphere. But I guess they had big plans for eventually the team getting bigger and filling out the stadium. But for now, it is definitely 3rd on my list because it's just a bit tin pot. In at number 2 is, what is that? Why am I working out the jazz hands? Like bloody hell. Why is there a bit of blue tack on the wall as well? Get that down. Oh, I know why. I'll show you. Had a green screen. It fell down. So this would have been a poorly coded green screen behind me, but instead it's nothing. So other than some blue tack, In at 2 is Manchester United. Just dislike the fan base. I dislike the old just supporting a club because they're good. And the majority of Manchester United fans have done that. I get that the same's happening with Chelsea, but always quite had a soft spot for Chelsea comparatively. My favourite team out of the big teams, ironically, is Arsenal, but I don't really like the fans. But you know what I mean, they try to play the right way, they don't always win. Liverpool, similar. But Man United, just, oh Jesus Christ, growing up with everyone in my school, oh my God, you support Leeds. Yes, because I have family members from there. You support Manchester United because literally like, everyone just supports them. Well, they did when I was growing up, and that's why my image of that is. It might be different now. I'm not, as much as I look at it, I'm no longer in school, so it's hard to say which like clubs are being supported now heavily that people aren't involved in. I get that you can have an affinity for the club that you don't live near. I mean, look at me in Porto, that I've got an affinity for that club, but that's because I went and visited the club and I went and fell in love with a club, whereas these Manchester United fans have never even set foot near a football stadium, let alone Old Trafford, and they go on there on the Twitter, and I've met so many of them, they think they know everything about football, you just don't, you know nothing. A bit harsh, a lot of them probably do, but it's just, Manchester United Football Club annoys me to the extent that people adopt them as their club, and like, oh, we beat you, you did shit all mate, you supported a club that wasn't near you and you claimed some sort of affiliation to it. In at number 1 is, before we get into this, it's worth noting that I don't hate any football club. I dislike and hate certain fans and aspects of a football club, and for example, this club is the club that sent the most negativity towards me, has tried to put my life at risk, tried to put my girlfriend's life at risk, and tried to put my family's life at risk, and that of course is Benfica. Obviously being a Porto fan, you don't have a great opinion on Benfica, but because of the fact I'm English, because of the fact that my videos blew up over in Portugal, I now have Benfica fans that want to kill me. And it doesn't scare me at all, but it scares Jodie, and we're going to the Porto Benfica game next month, and it's like, she's like, I don't want to go here, don't want to go there. I'm like, it's just basically like, it's a joke. And like every time I try to go for Benfica on Twitter, I'm trying to get bites, and I do, and there's just people coming for me in the comment section of my videos like, you're gonna die. Also a weird one, someone called me a priest the other day. So I thought, I know this guy, he's a priest. Or maybe a priest, maybe not a priest, something. Just spoiler alert, I'm not a priest. I work for a marketing agency. But yeah, like, don't death threat me. Because look at that. You wanna go? Because you go on then, you'll take me. Not in that way, in a fight. I'm taken. Anyway, onto the Q&A. I think that's a reasonable top 5. Tell me the list of your top 5 clubs that you hate. If we hit 300 likes in this video, I don't think we will. If we do hit 300 likes in this video, then I'll bring up the top 5 football clubs that I love. Which everyone keeps asking me, Porto or Leeds? Well, I mean, it's sort of obvious, but I don't believe that. Just 300 likes and I'll explain in more detail, but... onto the Q&A. Any targets I've set myself this season? I don't really set myself any goals in regards to anything anymore. I feel like it's definitely the point now where away days isn't going to go like big. I think we're going to settle around the subscriber count we are now, which is completely fine by me. I think the goal for me now is to get a job in the football industry, which I'm sort of working already. Ideally, my dream job is to work for a football club. I've always wanted to work in the MLS, so my dream is to be the social guy out in the MLS for an American team, Orlando City being the one. So if anyone here knows anyone at Orlando City that wants to hire an English guy to do something at the club, then into my DMs, cheeky little slide. Southgate in or Southgate out? It's hard to say before a World Cup, but I personally thought Sam Allardyce was the better appointment of the two. Obviously Sam Allardyce is gone for being an idiot, but I think he was an England manager deservedly, whereas Gareth Southgate has done tournaments with the under-21s. He was always good in qualifying, and we haven't really looked good in qualifying, but never did it in a tournament stage with the under-21 team, so it's hard to say what is actually going to be. But I'd say out, and he might win the World Cup, then in that case, he might just keep his job. My most embarrassing story, there is honestly way too many that just aren't able to be shared, PG. Most embarrassing story would probably be, that I can share, right, when I played for Norwich, apparently I played for Norwich and then never really mentioned it, was I was getting changed after, because you had to go and have a shower after training, so like at the age of 9, 10, whatever, we were all showering, like, after training, and in my haste to get home, because I think Pokemon Diamond had just came out and I had it on my DS, and on the way to and from training and on the way to away games I would always play Pokemon Diamond. It was like my childhood. Pokemon Emerald's very good as well. Off topic. But basically, I wanted to rush out. So I don't even know how or why this happened, but I had just my boxers on and I walked out of the changing rooms, like assuming I had everything, with like my bag on, my tracksuit was in my bag. You're supposed to wear after you have a shower. All the parents are just staring at me and they're like, Ellis, you might want to get changed. I was like, what? Look down and I'm literally just in my boxers. And that is the most embarrassing story. One more, we'll try and do 5 Q&A questions at the end of every video that's not an away day or a 5-minute football or the Pie League, which isn't even out yet. Most expensive train fare to a game? Probably like 180 quid to one of the ones further up north. £180 to get a train. £180 to get a train. It's my fault for not driving, so yeah. If you're new around here, be sure to like the video, or you can like your video if you're not new around here as well. I meant to say if you're new around here, subscribe. If you haven't enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a comment on your top 5 clubs that you hate as well. My hand's there, the camera's there, Ellis, what are you doing like that? But you can, top 5 clubs that you hate. Top 5 clubs that you hate. You might not hate any clubs, and if so, stop sitting on the fence, you're bottling it. If you're not around here, subscribe. I'll see you on Saturday for the next away day. Bye.